Hi, my name is Victoria. I am the adult programmer at the Clover Public Library, a branch of York County Library. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make melted crayon jewelry. I got this idea from the blog Color Made Happy. Here are most of the materials you'll need for this project. First, you'll need some old crayons, a knife, preferably serrated, a heat gun, and then you'll need jewelry trays and glass cabochons. I got 3 sets off of Amazon. This is what those trays look like. You see they have a little ridge there, and that's going to help keep that melted crayon in. And these are those glass toppers. Now, as I show you the process on how I made these, I want to note that I made a lot of mistakes. And I left those in here. I think as crafters, we tend to want to be perfect, and we forget that the creative process involves making mistakes. So the first thing I did was make a mistake. I picked out 3 colors that I wanted to use for my pendant, and I really like the colors. However, I chose 2 very dark colors here. Now, this was my first time doing this. I wouldn't have known any better, but in the end, you'll see that those colors end up mixing together. So this is how I got the shreds of crayon wax that I was going to melt into those jewelry trays, just using that serrated knife and scratching it off. It's a pretty simple process, but it can be a little tedious to get as much as you need. And here I am putting those 3 different colors into that jewelry tray. You'll see that I tried to go for a bit of a pattern here, and then those dark colors already look very similar. So just note when you're working on this that you want to use a lot of the bright color. And here goes that first attempt with the heat gun, and I put it way too close. These don't have as much blowing power as like a blow dryer, but they can still really throw things off. I tried to stick with it for this one, and I just kept going, but you'll see it did not work out for this specific attempt. I just ended up clearing it out and trying again. Sometimes that's all you can really do when you're crafting. At this point, I decided to just use the purple and pink, and you'll see this is actually sped up, but I did hold the heat gun about 2 feet away from the pendant as it slowly melted. And you'll see I slowly start to get closer, blows a little off, and I pull it away. This is a technique that you really have to learn, but it's pretty rewarding once you get it down. Once I had all the wax melted, I used a skewer to try and marble, you could say, that wax. You'll see in a little bit, I was not pleased with the result of this initial attempt. But I moved right along to the bracelet. I learned some things in those first 2-ish tries, and I put a lot more of that bright pink on there. I really wanted it to stand out. Now, once again, this is a sped up clip. You'll need to test how strongly your heat gun blows, but you really do want to hold it as far away as you can while there's still getting a little bit of heat on that wax, and then slowly bring it closer. You can see here I'm troubleshooting, getting that wax that I spilled back in that tray, and there goes the wax. It's starting to melt. It does this weird thing where it all kind of balls up before going back out. And at this point, you can really use that heat gun to blow the wax around, start to get the design that you want. I was much happier with how this one came out by using a lot more of that pink. You don't have to worry too much about any texture that you have on the top. And then here's where I redid that necklace pendant. You'll see here I wanted to do something different with the earrings. I decided I was going to use all bright colors. One was a little bit darker, but I had faith in myself after those attempts. And here I am placing it, lots of that wax in that tray, and doing it in a pattern that I liked. My inspiration for this one was fire. I also want to note that for this one, I made sure to use crayons that were by the same brand. I found with that initial attempt with the purple and pink, it worked out in the end, but the wax melting points were different. So with this one, I used all from the same brand, and I felt like the wax melted much smoother. Here you'll see once that wax is melted, I kind of use the air from the heat gun to blow the wax around, get it in a pattern I like, before using that skewer to once again add that texture. Here's how that first one ended up, and the second of the pair. I think they both ended up differently, but beautiful. Remember how earlier I said that was most of what we need? We also need a jewelry adhesive. And don't use this much of it. You'll quickly see why. I used way too much and it overflowed. So you'll see here me a little bit sped up trying to clean that up. But just remember, if you make a mistake, you can usually fix it. And here I thought I used just the right amount. But again, you'll see I made a little bit of a mistake and some came out the side. Overall, I really enjoyed the process of learning this craft. I felt like each of the pieces came out completely uniquely. I do want to point out that if I were to change one thing in the end, I would have kept more pressure on those glass cabochons and the glue at the end. You'll see when I cut here, there's a little bit of an air bubble in there, and I think if I just kept that pressure, it would have been gone. Thank you for watching. Check out YCL's YouTube channel for more crafting tutorials. Bye-bye!